all Renegades of Puck to the trenches. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Welcome to Renegades of Puck TV. Remember, you can always check us out by going to renegadesofpuck.com, and you can also check us out on all of the different social media platforms. Find us on Twitter at Renegades of Puck. Also on Facebook, give us a like. Subscribe to our Twitch channel, which is our behind-the-scenes live stream that we use to give you full access to everything going on here at the bunker. Tonight, we've actually bounced over to Facebook Live, so as long as you're following along right there and subscribing there, you're seeing this live feed, and when you get the live stream, you not only get to see everything going on behind the scenes, but you also get the content much quicker than the fully produced versions of Renegades of Puck TV that air on YouTube coming up just a little bit later. All of the Renegades of Puck will be in the trenches with me tonight, breaking down everything that happened on the Nashville Predators' first road trip of the season in Winnipeg. Quick turnaround, though, heading off to Minnesota. So normally what we would do is dedicate an entire video to a debriefing and then a separate complete video to a briefing of the next game. But the old radio format is back for one night on this back-to-back. Quick turnaround means we need to get you as much content and have you ready as quickly as possible. So we will debrief and then we will brief all in the same video. All of the Renegades of Puck will be in the trenches. Nostradamus will talk goaltenders. Sean C. Smith has a lot of thoughts on the youth happening with the team right now. And Brian Baston is going to be in with the numbers. So appreciate each and every one of you jumping in the trenches with me. Again, I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Renegadesofpuck.com is the easiest place how you can find access and information, everything happening in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Don't forget, we do have merchandise, and right now we have it marked down just for a limited time, so you can go ahead and get those Renegades of Puck logo t-shirts and go ahead and get those and start wearing those and be proud, Renegades. And we're getting new t-shirt designs coming very, very soon, so we're looking very much forward to doing that. Join our team. Be on board with our sponsors. Rebirth Sports. Looking forward to telling you about all of the great things coming up. This jersey right here, made by Rebirth Sports, and I'm going to start showing you other jerseys that Rebirth Sports has made for me over the years and for the hockey teams that I've played for. Their work is just tremendous, and I absolutely love being partners with Rebirth Sports. Stripe Digital and Design is just simply the best. Working on a whole set of new things, also helping me get some new concepts and find new and better ways to promote Renegades of Puck TV. We've done a fantastic job through the first week. We've gone from just over 30 subscribers to our YouTube channel to just under 100, looking to make that push over 100 and well beyond. And Stripe is helping me come up with some plans and some ideas and some marketing to help push us in that direction. We know that we have an incredible and unique hockey experience right here. It's the essence of no half-stepping, and we know we have something great. We want to make sure we are getting that passed out there and getting the links and moving the audience in the right direction. We're not just looking to cover the Nashville and Middle Tennessee area. We're looking to cover hockey and hockey culture itself. So the more opportunities we have to grow, the better, and Stripe is helping us get there. You know who else is helping us get there? Strong Style Fit. Check out the link in the comments of our videos, and you'll find the latest workout from Strong Style Fitness, live and on-demand personal training. Well over 150 videos now. You can find Strong Style Fitness just by searching anywhere on social media, and also we will tweet out the links to all of the most current workouts. Renegades of Puck need to be up and moving around. A healthy renegade is a happy renegade. It's a long weekend of sitting on the couch. If you've gotten up and done your work this morning, maybe you would have worked out a little bit of that frustration. Hey, get on right now and get doing one of those workouts. Maybe you work out a little bit of tension. So those are our great partners, and you know how you can join and be a partner individually. We've had some incredible donations. Some of you are becoming great benefactors to this here program, and we sure do appreciate that. Go to Venmo. Renegades of Puck is the easiest way to find us, or scan the QR code right here on the screen that you see right now and become a partner of the Renegades of Puck. Just $1 per episode can help us go a long way to keeping these wonderful lights on, keeping the bunker going. This is where we're going to make our stand, and we're going to need your support along the way, Renegades. So Venmo is how you do that. And this better be firing up tonight. The Renegades of Puck grievance line. You have seen the meme everywhere. You've seen the number. It's 615-640-0916, 615-640-0916. That is how you tell us your thoughts. We're asking you to hear in your voice your own frustrations. How do you feel about this Nashville Predators team? How do you feel about the top six forwards not delivering a single point tonight in the first road game of the season? Is John Hines managing the roster properly? Should Harper ever see the ice again? Well, we want to hear from you. Get on and leave us a message at the Renegades of Puck grievance line. We sure would appreciate it. We've got a couple of them starting to build up over the last couple of nights. It's a 24-hour-a-day hotline open for you to leave us your thoughts. Be a part of the Renegades of Puck. Jump in the trenches, and we'll select the best audio from time to time and play them here on Renegades of Puck TV. No half-stepping, my good people. Let's get into it. We've got an awful lot to talk about. The Nashville Predators come into this next game after playing 5 games on the season with a record of 1-4. That means they have 2 points, a record of 0-1 on the road, back-to-back. Last night, of course, in Winnipeg. We'll recap that game fully in just a minute, taking that loss. They'll face off today against the Minnesota Wild, who are currently 4-0 after 4 games played. They have 8 points and are first place in the Central Division, 6 points ahead of the Nashville Predators, and 2-0 on home ice. They've scored 15 goals for while giving up 11. The Nashville Predators have scored 12 while giving up 17. The season series between these two teams, division rivals, after this game, they won't see each other again until March the 13th, when the Preds will be in Minnesota for the second and final time this season, and the 2 games at Bridgestone Arena in April that will come on the 5th and the 24th. And those games, the way Minnesota is playing early on the season, could be very important between these two groupings. For the Nashville Predators, after this back-to-back is completed, Tuesday against San Jose on home ice will be their next game, and then a couple of days off, a break, a chance to take a deep breath and do some assessing, because this Nashville Predators team needs to do a little bit of assessing. Well, then Saturday they'll take on the New York Islanders before heading out on one of those dreaded, lengthy, late-night road trips. It'll be the 2nd of November when they take on Calgary, then the 3rd in Edmonton, then the 5th in Vancouver. They'll finish out that road trip in Chicago. For the Minnesota Wild, Nashville Predators, first time seeing them this season. They are 4-0 on the season. Now, they've gotten to play the Anaheim Ducks twice, and that's going to boost anybody's metrics in every direction, but still, 4-0 on the season. They opened up with a 2-1 victory at Anaheim on the 15th of October. They followed that up the next night with a 3-2 win in Los Angeles. And then on the 19th of October, a 6-5 overtime win versus the same Winnipeg Jets team that the Nashville Predators just saw. And then it was just last night a 4-3 overtime win versus Anaheim. It was Talbot going 21 out of 24. So the Minnesota Wild and the Nashville Predators each playing the night before facing off at an earlier start on a Sunday. Tuesday will be the next time the Minnesota Wild take the ice after this Nashville Predators game, and that will be in Vancouver. Taking a look inside the numbers between these two squads, for the Nashville Predators, the offense so far has been dismal, hasn't it? The top 6 is simply not delivering the goods. The only bright spot so far is some of the bottom 6 and some of the young players for the Nashville Predators. But team-wide, goals for, they're 24th in the league at 2.40 per game. Goals against is 3.40. That's 23rd in the NHL. Shots for, the Nashville Predators are generating 32 on net per game. That's 15th best. Shots against, 28.6. Top 10 metric right here. They're 6th in the league currently. And the power play for the Nashville Predators is 4 out of 15 on the season, or 26.7%. That's good for 11th. The PK has 4 power play goals against and ranks 24th overall. For Minnesota, their numbers are looking pretty good so far on the season. Goals for 3.75, very impressive, and 10th overall in the league. Goals against at 2.75 is 16th. Shots for, the first in the NHL at 38.3, and giving up the 5th best amount at 28.5. Their power play is 12th best in the NHL, 4 out of 15, converting at 26.7%. They have given up 5 power play goals against, and that has their penalty kill ranked near 28th in the league. Some statistics between the Nashville Predators and the Minnesota Wild. Zuccarello leads Minnesota in scoring with 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points. Kaprizov at 5 assists, that's 5 points total. And Foligno at 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points. Fiala, Gaudreau, Hartman, all former Nashville Predators, and some of them finding some very good chemistry together. I know Brian Baston misses Freddie Gaudreau tremendously. That's the 89 club right there. We do love you, Freddie G. Hopefully, though, not this game. For the Nashville Predators, taking a look inside the stats, UC Saros will not be getting the start unless John Hines is just absolutely off his rocker at this early point in the season. Less than 24 hours between back-to-backs, and UC Saros and the Nashville Predators getting lit up in Winnipeg. No reason to give UC Saros a back-to-back start, so we should see Connor Ingram in his first start of the season. UC Saros on the season, though, 1-4, a save percentage of just .900, a 2.88 goals against average. We all know about UC Saros' troubles at the beginning of the seasons, but this is a team-wide thing. This is not just on the goaltender. As a matter of fact, the goals against of 2.88 is not that bad. It's not unreasonable. In the past, when he's had struggles at the beginning of the season, his goals against average has been up well over 3, and his save percentage has been well under 9. So right now, UC Saros is not individually the problem. It is a full team-wide issue, and the scoring and the offense is really where the problem is. Mikhail Granlund leads the team in scoring right now. 1 goal and 3 assists for 4 points. Roman Josi has 2 goals and assists for 3 points. And then Tomasino, Cousins, Novak, Johansson, Forsberg, all at 3 points apiece. But Johansson and Forsberg, should they be tied in points with Phil Tomasino, who wasn't even on the ice for all of the games so far this season, or Novak, who wasn't even in the NHL for all of the Predators games this season? The top players for this Nashville Predators team have got to start stepping up and stepping up immediately, or else it's going to be a very long and dreadful season. I said we weren't going to be over and hyper critical, but they are starting to push that button just a little bit and push that line to the point where I'm going to have to start being very critical of the top players on this Nashville Predators team. So far, the youth and the bottom 6 are delivering, and no one else seems to be doing so. And that gets you all set up for the Nashville Predators and the Minnesota Wild's first matchup of the regular season. Now it's time to go back and take a look at what happened last night in the first road game of the season for the Nashville Predators against the Winnipeg Jets. Your line combinations, and they still are getting shaken up and still developing, but we're not seeing nearly enough chemistry. Forsberg, Johansson, and Duchesne, we expected, since they're all professionals with plenty of experience and plenty of offensive capabilities, we expected they were going to come out and be a lot more successful. After all, the Predators have been a one-line team in the past, and they were able to succeed. This one line, though, so far is off to just a dreadful start on the season. Trennan, Granlund, and Cunnin has been a new-look second line, but unfortunately, Trennan is just disappearing out there, and I'm not seeing a whole lot out of Granlund so far. Normally, you see a lot of jam out of Mikhail Granlund, and so far in the season, I'm just not really seeing it. Cousins, Sissons, and Jeannot is going to deliver the goods in this game. Tolvanen, Novak, and Tomasino also going to do very good. Very critical of Tolvanen's ice time in the last game, but the pairing with Novak and Tomasino seems to be paying off a little bit. Even though that seems to be limiting Tolvanen's ice time, it seems to be increasing the offensive opportunities for this particular grouping, at least through the 2 games that it's been together out there. So let's get into this game, the Nashville Predators' first road game of the season in Winnipeg, and we're 1:15 into the game, and it's Colton Sissons with his first goal of the season. Nashville Predators' first shot on goal. It was Tanner Jeannot, who was hard on the forecheck, makes the pass across to Sissons. It was the tic-tac-toe, Cousins, Jeannot, and Sissons and Jeannot really making things happen out there on this first shift of the game. The Preds have a 1-0 lead in Winnipeg, but that would not last because the Jets would score on their first shot of the game at 2:42. B. Lowry with his first of the season. Just absolutely blows past Myers, fights off the slash and the hook, opens up Saros, and finishes easily, tying this game at 1 apiece. So in 3 minutes, you have each team scoring on the first shot of the game. And then at 5:14, Morrissey off to the box, 2 minutes for interference. UC Saros comes with a huge save on Morrissey after a great feed from Kopp. And then you see Duchesne catches the puck, places down, and gets the chance from the slot. At 7:15, Connor is stopped by Saros after being left completely alone, just wide open. Very unusual to see, but UC Saros was able to maintain his positioning and cover this opportunity. At 14 minutes of the first period, UC Saros comes up with a save on a long redirect and change of direction. We would see a lot of that in this game from the Winnipeg Jets at 16:36. Saros stops Stastny after some loose D play by the Nashville Predators. 18-18. Jeannot and Beaulieu are off to the box, 5 minutes each. Some heavy rights thrown in this tilt. The linesman came in and broke it up. I felt a little bit early, but Jeannot was really landing a couple of solid blows. We hit the end of the first period, tied at 1 apiece. Shots on goal are at 8 apiece, and after an electrifying first 3 minutes, things slowed down quite dramatically into the second period. 1:11, we see Dubois getting his 4th goal of the season. He deflected the long shot by Schmidt. Another one of these deflections, and this time Winnipeg is converting now up 2-1 at 1:28 of the second. Fabro's off to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. Stastny's going to convert on the power play for Winnipeg. It's his 1st goal of the season. It was a rebound put back, and it goes off the stick of Carrier and in. This puck would have gone wide if not being deflected in accidentally by Alex Carey. Winnipeg suddenly has a 2-goal lead, 3-1 on home ice at 2:53 of the second period. UC Saros comes up with a big save after some sloppy play in the D zone. We've said that a couple of times already, unfortunately, for this Nashville Predators team. At 3:11 of the second, Saros multiple saves. The Preds are just being overwhelmed by the Jets. 5-0 in shots on goal in the first 3 minutes of the second period. At 3:58, Tolvanen does get an opportunity and a shot on goal, stopped by Hellebuck. At 4:23. We see Granlund working hard. He's bringing the jam, trying to change the energy, but unable to make anything happen. 5:23. Connor speeds past the D, but is stopped by Saros off of the rush. At 11:41, Dillon's off to the box, 2 minutes for roughing. Cousins absolutely works the Jets. The game was getting very sleepy, and the Nashville Predators nor the Winnipeg Jets had very much energy at this point. Preds being down by 2 goals. Cousins looking to change that energy. He goes in there and absolutely draws a penalty. At this point, Cousins is going to earn the power play goal for the Nashville Predators on the power play that he earned for the Nashville Predators. Cousins gets the backhand rebound after lots of battle, picked himself up, got right back in position, and is awarded by going to the hard areas with that jam. Novak gets his first career assist on the play. Tomasino also picks up an assist. Mostradamus texting into the group chat line for the Renegades of Puck and saying the dynamite line is what I'm coining it. He calls the shot, and this play absolutely was dynamite. Out there on the power play, Tomasino, Novak, and Cousins convert, making this a 1-goal game. Again, Winnipeg up 3-2. 16:47, Saros a save on Pionk, and Yossi initiates the physical scrum. And when Roman Yossi is cross-checking guys after the whistle and starting scrums, you know that it's starting to get very intense out there on the ice. 17:31, Saros 2 saves after enormous pressure. Good tracking off of a puck on the back wall. UC Saros again hanging in there and keeping the Nashville Predators alive. At 17:37, Harper's off to the box, 2 minutes for hooking. The PK was able to convert, but shortly after the penalty kill, Versalainen at 19:49 gets his first goal. It was a redirect of a shot about 3 feet wide by Schmidt. Harper, just an absolutely awful line change in this one. So after he comes out of the box taking a terrible penalty, he has an absolutely brutal line change leading to the Winnipeg Jets scoring a goal and going up 4-2 with just 11 seconds to go in the second period. You know how we feel here in the trenches about goals that were scored in the first minute and the last minute of periods. They just seem to carry so much extra momentum, and this one absolutely stings the Nashville Predators. We head to the intermission. Winnipeg is out shooting Nashville 23-14. So the Winnipeg Jets pick up 15 shots on goal in the second period. Nashville Predators have to come out and respond in a big way. And the captain is leading the charge at 3:10 of the third period. It's Roman Yossi with his second goal of the season. Yossi's shot deflects off of the Jets' D out high, and the Preds catch a break on a bounce. Tolvanen was setting the trapping and setting the screen, and I'm sure that made a difference on Hellebuck, but it was Yossi's shot off of the Winnipeg Jets player that gives the Nashville Predators their third goal of the game. Now Winnipeg up by 1 goal. It is 4-3, but Winnipeg is going to respond immediately yet again at 3:36. Stastny, his second goal of the game, a deflection off of a shot in the low slot. It was reviewed for a high stick because it just looked awkward with how he was coming over the top with a downward chopping motion, but it was obviously a clean play. They didn't spend much time looking at it, and Winnipeg is up 5-3. 5:19, Harper is off to the box, 2 minutes for interference, and Harper just making another terrible play in this game. Should he have even been in the lineup at all? I sure hope he's not going to be in the lineup moving forward. Just terrible. It's at this point, Connor gets his 6th goal of the season. Winnipeg now has a 6-3 lead. 9:46. Hellebuck does come up with a save on Tolvanen. 9:53. The Preds get a power play opportunity when DeMello goes off to the box, but the Nashville Predators do not convert. They get another power play opportunity at 13:07 when Dillon goes off to the box for 2 minutes, tripping on Duchesne. It looks like Cousins gets the goal. Tolvanen shot, Cousins jam. Reviewed for offsides, though, and Carrier is ruled to be offsides, so no goal. But just a few seconds later, Tomasino would get his second goal of the season. It was the quick rush off of the faceoff. You win the faceoff, your winger steals the loose puck, cuts right through the D, and goes to the net. I know that play well because as a center winning faceoffs, I ran that play on the Mighty Drunks to 3 consecutive Stanley Cup championships with my left wing, Ryan Dreyer. I would intentionally win the faceoff into that little neutral area between the wing and the center, center, and he would slice right through, take it through the D, take it to the net, and score. And that's exactly what we saw right here from Phil Tomasino. Great to see him on the score sheet yet again. This is the reason why we were screaming so much about him being out of the lineup. He has all of the tools to be a ready player in the NHL and to not only compete, but put some stats up on the board. Second goal of the season. Nashville Predators now down 6-4, and that is going to be your final. For the Nashville Predators, the first road game of the season, it simply did not go very well. They just did not put in the same level of attention to detail or effort that they had put in the previous couple of games on home ice. I don't know if it was having the last line change. I don't know if it was the roster changes that were made tonight. I do know that Harper dragged this team down like a 5-gallon bucket of cement heading off into the Hudson. So that cannot happen moving forward. The Nashville Predators expect to make some line changes on the second night of back-to-backs. They have a couple of other forwards that were out scratched, and I expect the D to be switched back up. I really like Benning being out there on the third pair at any point in time. Myers, the Preds do need to know exactly what they have with him, but tonight he just did not look very good. So the Nashville Predators need to tighten up that third D pair and perhaps need to make a little shakeup on the top six of the forwards. If you're willing to adjust the bottom six as much as you are and they're finding success, maybe it's time to shake up the top six just a little bit. After 5 games, maybe it's time just to see a little bit of different chemistry on that first line, just to see what actually can happen. In between the pipes tonight, UC Saros, it was a tough night. A lot of big deflections, a lot of very wide shots being deflected perfectly, bad bounces, but still, UC Saros, starting goaltender of the Nashville Predators, ends up being responsible for 6 goals against on the stat sheet. Maybe that doesn't tell the entire story, but that's exactly what I have Nostradamus here to do. 23 out of 29 in this one. I will leave this one to the starting goaltender of the Renegades of Puck. He is, of course, on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. He is Nostradamus. Mosh, tell me what happened tonight with UC Saros against the Winnipeg Jets, and also tell me what's going to happen tomorrow between the pipes for the Nashville Predators with the Minnesota Wild.
Well, Charlie, no time to sulk. The Preds back at it Sunday night up in Minnesota for their second road game of the season, less than 24 hours after going up against the Winnipeg Jets and falling 6-4. A couple of backup goaltenders are going to be the matchup up there. You're looking at Capo Kakkonen for Minnesota. Probably not heard of him that often, but 25-year-old Finnish goaltender coming into his own up there, backing up Cam Talbot. So at least the Preds don't have to face Talbot. Minnesota Wild, though, 4-0 on the season after their latest overtime victory Saturday night against Anaheim. So a tough matchup for Nashville, even if they do have UC Saros. But it looks like it's going to be the NHL debut of Connor Ingram. And what a story this has been just 9 months ago, almost to the day, checking himself into the NHL Player Assistance Program. Connor Ingram going to make his NHL debut Sunday night. Big moment for him. So that may take some of the sting out of last night's game, but exciting time for Connor Ingram, and kudos to him for making this sort of comeback and not letting that get in the way of his NHL dream. Going to make his NHL debut Sunday night. Charlie, back to you.
Thank you so much, Mosh. At GreekGoalie35 is how you can find him on Twitter. He's always up for the interaction. He's been the starting goaltender of the Renegades of Puck for many, many years, and I expect to sign him to a Rick DiPietro-style contract extension sometime in the near future. I sure do appreciate him. Let me give you a couple of storylines from the game against the Winnipeg Jets. Cousins, Sissons, 2 goals and 3 assists. That's 5 points, 7 shots on goal and 9 hits. Tolvanen, Novak, and Tomasino, a goal and 4 assists for 5 points, 5 shots on goal and 3 hits. The bottom 6 of this team had 3 goals and 7 assists for 10 points, 12 shots on goal, and 12 hits. The top 6 forwards of this Nashville Predators team against the Winnipeg Jets did not even show up. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points. 11 shots on goal, but rarely did I find them to be a threat when they were out there on the ice tonight. And Philip Forsberg missing what would have been an easy goal for him normally when he is on. Clearly, being in a contract year is not generating the type of offense that I thought it was going to be. He appears to be gripping quite a bit. 5 hits, 11 shots on goal for the top 6. The bottom 6 just absolutely dominate this game. And Harper is just terrible He's just terrible. I've got to hear from Sean C. Smith. He's got the intel that you need to know, and I need to hear from him. He's got a lot of thoughts, especially on the younger players on this team. Philip Tomasino already coming along very nicely, and we're also seeing some gains by some of the other players. Tommy Novak, who had that on your bingo card? I don't think very many, but Sean C. Smith sure was on top of it. He's got the intel that you need to know from ontheforecheck.com. He is Sean C. Smith. You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. That's at SCSOTF. Sean, take it away.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades. The game just ended, and what can I say? We talked earlier about how there were concerns about that third line. And I said, if you looked at the first few games, you would have no idea who'd played on the third line. And then I said, don't worry, because they're trying to get some chemistry, trying to develop an identity with that third line. And what did you see tonight? I know you saw a loss, and that's not what anybody wants right now. But if the Preds are going to lose, I want to see the youth playing together. That's exactly what you saw. As you started to see some chemistry. You started to see some identity on that third line with Tommy Novak at center, Philip Tomasino, and Eeli Tolvanen on the wings. And that's exactly what I think everybody wants. You want to see those young guys playing on a line, developing chemistry, and getting an identity, because that is the future of this team. And you saw that line come alive tonight. Now, again, I go back in time a little bit and say everybody was looking at Cody Glass and saying that this was who is going to be the third line center, and this is where the chemistry and the identity was going to develop. But for whatever reason, and it's not really worth it to speculate, you don't really know what goes on behind closed doors, the team and Glass decided that he needed to do some developing in Milwaukee, and I think that's okay. They sent up Novak, and he was the next best available, if not the best available guy they had down there. He comes up, he puts on a big show, he gets more and more comfortable the more games he plays. And that's exactly what you're seeing, is those things coming to fruition. So you can be upset about the loss, you can be sad about the final score, but you can't be upset about that third line. You have to be happy, you have to be excited. And I'm not one for telling you how to feel all the time, but I know that the loss is upsetting, but this is a big thing to see those guys start to come online and start to set things on fire. Give them a little bit more time and watch how much better it's going to be. Another thing I want to talk about, Nick Cousins. Let's talk about Nick Cousins. I said I liked him on that fourth line because he brought a different element to it, and you started to see him make some things happen on the power play tonight. So Cousins definitely stepped up big time, had a great game, put on a show for the team. Now, coming up, we've got the Minnesota Wild, all right? The biggest thing I want you to watch for when we're looking at the Minnesota Wild is Rem Pitlick. Rem Pitlick is a prospect, or past tense, was a prospect in the Preds organization that I and a lot of the other writers at On the Forecheck were really, really high on. Big Rem Pitlick fans on the Forecheck. And when they sent him on waivers, he did not clear. He was picked up by the Minnesota Wild, and they're giving him a chance. Now, Carl Taylor, the head coach in Milwaukee, expressed his sadness at losing Pitlick, but he was also happy to see Pitlick get a chance. And so there's a big part of me that's happy to see Pitlick get a chance. And while I'm disappointed it's not with the Predators organization, look to see how he plays against a team that he may feel like didn't give him the right chance, because he's seeing guys like Tommy Novak come up and play, and all of these other guys from Milwaukee. He never really got as many games as they did. They sent him down at the beginning of the season. So look to see how he responds in a big game against his former team and against a lot of his former teammates from Milwaukee, because they're all playing in Nashville now. Those are some things I'd like you to look at. But I think overall, my biggest takeaway from this game, and what I want you to pay attention to coming up in the next game, was look at how the Winnipeg Jets loaded up in front of the net anytime the Predators had the puck in the offensive zone. They made it really hard for them to do anything but shoot in from the outside. And if you go back a few years, you look at all of the blue line shots that we started to talk about, like these really weren't effective. The Jets kind of forced them to do that same sort of thing. So look to see the Predators establish their game up close against the Wild to make sure that doesn't happen again. Anyway, I'm going to send it back over to you, Charlie. Renegades, hope you're having a great day. Hope you're enjoying some Preds hockey.
Thank you so much, Sean C. Smith. You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. That's at SCSOTF. On theforecheck.com is where you can read his work. He is a tremendous talent, a rising star in this business. He is Sean C. Smith, and I am so proud to have him as the assistant captain of the Renegades of Puck. Let me give you a couple of numbers, and then I'll turn it over to the Renegade Analytics desk so that they can give you even better numbers. Just taking a look inside the box score and some numbers for the game against the Winnipeg Jets. It was Cousins with a goal and 2 assists. You also saw Sissons getting a goal in this game, Tomasino a goal and an assist, and Roman Josi had the other goal for the Preds, the 4th goal, and that is the wrapping up the goal summary. You also saw an assist from Janot, 3 assists from Tommy Novak. He is really paying off since getting his opportunity, and you know he's absolutely going to continue getting a chance after putting up a performance like that. Also had an assist from Dante Fabro. Matt Duchene did lead the team in shots on goal with 4 tonight, but unfortunately the rest of his stat line, the only place you'll even find a marker is in shots missed, 1 block shot, and a -2 for those of you who still believe in that statistical metric, but yet somehow he led the team in time on ice at 19:05. As a matter of fact, he did not. He was second in time on ice. It was Granlund leading the team in time on ice at 20:15, but unfortunately, other than Granlund's 3 shots on goal, he was very non-existent. We've already given you the goaltending numbers in this one. You know who's got better numbers than I do? He runs the Renegade Analytics desk, and he is one that is not to be messed with. He is Brian Baston from ontheforecheck.com. You can find him on Twitter at Brian Baston. I sure do appreciate him jumping in the trenches with me right here on ROP TV. Brian, take it away over at the Renegade Analytics desk.
If there's one thing we've seen so far in Nashville's young 5-game season, is that they struggle to create any sort of offense. Nashville has been outscored 12-17 overall and 7-10 at 5-on-5. And while the concept of Nashville not being able to score goals isn't a new one, let's take a look at a few reasons why this offense so far is severely lacking. First off is penalties. Currently, the Predators sit at 16th in the NHL in minor penalties taken with 17, and the Predators have now allowed only 4 penalty kill goals, with 2 tonight and 2 against Seattle in the season opener. Tanner Janot leads all Predators in penalty minutes. Even if you take away his major against Winnipeg for fighting, Janot's 13 penalty minutes are minutes the young player is not on the ice. Benning, Trennan, Harper, and Carrier are the only other players with more than a single penalty, meaning that, well, when Benning and the rookies are taking Nashville off of offense every single time they take a penalty. The second is how effective Nashville is at selecting and taking shots. The on-target percentage is the percentage of all shot attempts that were shots on goal, minus the ones that were blocked or missed the net completely. And on the season, Nashville sits at 52.3%, good for 24th in the league, and tonight they were an absolutely abysmal 42.3%. It was much the same for several other metrics. Nashville also is 24th in shot quality, averaging a 5.2% for the season, and just a 4% tonight against the Jets. The Predators did create more shot attempts per 60 tonight than average, but poor shot selection and shot quality led to a lower rate of shots on goal, where the Predators sit at 20th in the league. While there is justified criticism of this team that there is excessive passing to find the perfect shot, Nashville needs to both enter the zone quicker and more efficiently with possession of the puck, as well as making purposeful passes into the high danger areas. Nashville, unfortunately, though, does not have much time to think about this tonight, as the Predators visit the undefeated Minnesota Wild, who moved to 4-0-0 tonight in their first back-to-back, and there's a chance that Nashville will need to score to give either UC Saros or call up Connor Ingram some room to breathe. And those are my big stats for this evening. Charlie?
That's Brian Baston from the Renegade Analytics Desk and ontheforecheck.com. He's got the numbers you need to know. I appreciate him jumping in the trenches with me every time here on Renegades of Puck TV and taking care of the analytics. Listen, when the eye test and the analytics all come together and they all tell the same story, that's how we know we can be so confident in the information we are giving you. We bring it to you from all different stages and all different angles. We sure do appreciate you jumping in the trenches with us right here on Renegades of Puck TV. It's a whole new and unique hockey perspective and opportunity for an audience to be involved. We are not the professional media. We are somewhere between the fans and the media and the franchise itself. We want each and every one of you to jump in the trenches with us. We call it no half step, and I need you, Renegades of Puck. I know that you're out there. Renegades of Puck come in all sizes. I say Renegades for everyone. Renegades come in all shapes and all sizes. They're short, they're tall, they're all colors, they're from all places. They are different, they are unique, they are unicorns, they are the best. Renegades of Puck are everywhere. One by one, we need to bring more Renegades in with us. We can be a force in the hockey community to do good. There is so much toxicity out there that dominates the hockey landscape. Why not us? Why not bring our no half-stepping mentality and attitude to the hockey community and get out there? Let's pass those links around. Let's spread things. Let's get new correspondents in new places. Let's find out what's going on in the hockey community. Next time you see me here on camera, I'll be bringing you an update from some local college hockey that I'm going to be covering in the next couple of hours. So that's right, not just watching the Nashville Predators on these 2 back-to-back road games, but I'm going to hit MTSU versus Vandy and see some college hockey first thing in the morning over there at Fordyce Center in Antioch, and then come on home and we'll be back on the air with Renegades of Puck TV right here. Fill up that grievance line, my good Renegades. I need to hear your voices. I need to hear from each and every one of you. Follow each and every one of the social media feeds, and remember, once we get over 100 subscribers, I will share a behind-the-scenes story that I've never shared or told before. And on theforecheck.com, they have the interview from when I held the title of sports director of 1025 The Game about a couple of changes that I suggested and made to the Nashville Predators radio broadcast that are still in existence today. Get me over 100 subscribers, I'll tell you the story. Hell, you get me a few more subscribers than that, I'll share all the dirty details about how I got fired from that very same position. Trust me, it's a story. It's so good I wrote about it in the book Tales from the Biz, 89 Days in Hell, The Game Strikes Back. It's a pretty good chapter. It's very emotional. You'll get a chance to read the book soon, but if you just search under what I just said by chapter name on Facebook, you'll find it on my private Facebook page. It is made public so that you can read it. Renegades of Puck, I sure do appreciate you jumping in the trenches with us each and every day right here on Renegades of Puck TV. Like, subscribe, share, do all those things. Partner with the show, and we'll be right here in the trenches with you. For Mostradamus, for Sean C. Smith, for Brian Baston, for the Ultimate One, for Kyle Perkins, and for each and every one of you Renegades out there. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Sonia. Stick taps, love, respect.